Hello, Duranis here, and welcome to episode 1 of Jumping on the Banished bandwagon. I say that there's basically quite a few people that are doing videos of this game right now, but I've been playing it quite a bit and really enjoyed it, so I thought, why not start a new game and record as I go along. Not sure how long it's going to be running for. It's one of them games that I quite like the start of the game where it's pretty hard to get going and you have quite a few issues, but then once you actually get established it tends to get a little bit too easy. But having said that, I haven't made any really large cities, sort of 500-600 plus population, so yeah, maybe we'll go for that and see what happens. So I'm going to start a new game here, and let's call it Duratopia. I'm sure it's not going to be any kind of topia, but let's just do it anyway. Valleys, large, fair, disasters, and medium. Excellent. So if you haven't played this game before, it's basically a city building, resource management type game. It's actually programmed just by the one guy, so it's a really good game considering it's just one guy that's been working on it. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot like if you've ever played Settlers, it's a lot like that. There's no sort of inter-village combat or anything like that, so there's no other villages to fight against. It's just basically keeping your people alive, keeping them fed, keeping them warm, etc. So yeah, just to explain this, you can have valleys and mountains. The mountains are a lot harder to work with because you don't have as much space. I haven't played around with the mountains too much. That's maybe something I'll do in the future. Terrain size, again, small, medium, large. The maps are pretty big, but I'll keep it on large just so we've got plenty of room to explore and expand later on. Climate, you do have seasons in this. Mild is pretty easy. Fair's just fairly standard. It's quite a nice mix. Harsh is pretty hard, but it's again not impossible. It makes it a lot harder to begin with, but again, once you're established, it's not too much of an issue. Disasters, you get things like crop infestations and fires and things like that, which make it a lot more interesting. And starting conditions is basically how many resources you start off with. With easy, I think you maybe start with houses and quite a lot of resources and a storage barn. Medium, you get a storage barn, no houses, but a pretty reasonable amount of materials to start with. And hard, you don't get any buildings to start with, you just get some basic materials. We're going to start on medium just so we're not sort of spending the first episode just collecting resources. So yeah, like I said, I've played this game a fair bit. I think my highest population cap wasn't overly high, it's only about 200 or 300, but when I'm playing it myself, I tend to play quite slowly, so even though I only have a population of about 200 or 300, I've got, I don't know, about 200k food and stockpiled resources to sort of double my population. So I'm going to try not to play that in the this Let's Play series. I'm going to be a bit more reckless and try and expand a little bit quicker than what I normally would. So yeah, let's see where we're starting. So it actually looks like a pretty good starting area. It's fairly hilly, which is a bit of a pain. But that can be useful because we get the mine set up without being too far away. I would have liked a little bit more land down here, but that's not too much of a problem. We've got a lake here and a river, which is nice, so we've got fishing and trade routes there, and a lake on the other side. That's connected with the rivers too, so again we can have trading merchants there. Let's just set things up here. So yeah, we want that turned on, we want the event log on. We'll have a look at the map in a second. We want that. Let's quickly show the production limits. See, some of these things you basically can limit what the maximum amount of each thing is that will be collected or produced. For some of them it makes sense, but for others it doesn't really make sense most of the time to limit it. So things like stone and logs and iron, it doesn't matter if we have a million of them. Fuel we'll keep limited to begin with because we don't want to burn through our log source, our source of logs, just producing fuel. Coal again, we can have as many as we want. Tools, I'll set that to about 80 to begin with because we don't want to burn through again our logs and our iron there. Food, doesn't matter how much food we have. Herbs again, doesn't matter how many herbs we have. Clothes, we'll set that to 80. Our coal is not going to be a problem for, well, it's not going to be an issue for a little while until we get a tavern set up. So I'll leave that as it is. The clothes, actually probably doesn't matter about the limit on the clothes because the wool and the leather has no other use at this stage, so we don't need to save it for anything. We're not going to use it for trading. When it comes to trading, I'll get a bit more into that later on, but basically I tend to just trade fuel because it's really easy to produce, and it's the food and the herbs and the clothes and the tools are stuff that takes quite a bit to actually produce, and it's stuff that you really need yourself, so trading it away is not a really good idea. So that's all set up. We can pretty much ignore that for the rest of the game now, and let's have a quick look on the map. So yeah, it's a pretty nice map. We've started right in between the major water sources here, and it looks like there's quite a bit of flat ground around that we can build into. So yeah, it's a pretty nice map to start with. Okay, so first priorities are food, fuel and housing. So actually just set this back to 10. Okay, so which direction do we want to build in? I think we'll use this area here to set up the forest area, so we'll have our gatherers and hunters etc. up in that spot, and I think we'll start developing the town down towards this way, and then we'll use these hills here for our mines, and if we can fit a quarry in there that would be just about perfect because that'll be far enough away from the houses that it's not annoying them too much, but close enough that they're not having to travel miles and miles to get there. Okay, excellent. So first thing we want to do is probably clear some space, but let's see, we need to leave a pathway up there. Let's set some houses to build in. So we'll leave a spot there for a path and build a couple of houses along here. Can we squeeze another one onto that? 5, excellent. So houses there. We'll set up a fishery right on the end here if we can. That'd be nice if we could line it up exactly with the path. It's not going to let us, it's one block out. But if we rotate there. So actually we want to try and get as much of that into the water as possible, so it's yeah, that should be just fine. So we've got 5 houses, we've got the fishery, it's set up a forester up here. And yeah, that's just about perfect. And we'll set up a herbalist. Actually, we'll leave the herbalist for the moment. We don't need to worry too much about that right now. Food and a gatherer. And I'm going to just try and line that pathway up. I'm still overlapping, there we go. And let's... no, Hunter's Lodge. There we go. And we'll just tuck that into the back of that. Okay, so that's the main things we need to begin with. Let's just change the priorities here quickly. So we'll increase the priority of that. So it should build the houses first, and then we'll fiddle around with the priorities of these things to get them built afterwards. Let's set some builders and get going. So they should build through these relatively quickly. Hopefully we get the houses built before the end of spring. And the labourers should be clearing these bits away. We could have set up a storage area up there actually to stop them having to go backwards and forwards all the time, but that's fine. We kind of want the resources to be down here anyway, and it's a pain to move the storage areas around later on anyway. So yeah, we're heading into spring now. We've got an extra labourer there, so let's just add them into the builders. Okay, let's start working on the fishing dock. Okay, so fishing dock is complete, and set the 4 people into there. Not sure why they've started working on these when this house hasn't been finished yet, but it shouldn't be too much of an issue. One other thing we're going to need is a woodcutter. Nope, not remove resources, woodcutter. And let's just pause it for a second. Which direction do we want this to go? So we want to probably leave space here for the merchant. I'm not sure if the merchant interferes with the fishing docks. I've not noticed it before. But I'll try and leave a bit of space there. Maybe I'll put this over here so it's closer to the storage there. So that's set up, excellent. And just time accelerating again, coming into late spring. Fishing dock should be good. Yeah, that's catching fish. How are these doing? Removed, just moving resources up there. That's still cutting down trees. That's just waiting on resources. And one thing I'm not sure about is who carries resources, whether it's the builders or whether it's the labourers. I've not actually noticed who's doing what there, so I think she just dropped resources off. And he's apparently a fisherman, so what they're doing up there, I have no idea. So yeah, we've got some children being born, so that's good. Coming into early summer. You really need to get that, get the woodcutter built, so let's increase the priority on that. Okay, that's waiting on resources. I'm actually out of stone and logs, so that'd be why nothing's being built. Should have noticed that before. Let's actually gather some stuff up here then, so I'm going to be building down in this direction. So actually let's do the wood. I don't want to collect that iron just yet because that's just going to waste time. Collect stone. Is there any stone around here? Yep, some stone there. And collect the stone from there. We'll set some more labourers to do that. Okay, so yeah, so that wasn't a great start on my part. I should have noticed that we had actually run out of building materials, so that's going to delay us a little bit, but hopefully nothing we can't recover from. So let's just set to harvest a few more trees just at the back end here and down here. Let's just clear that space and clear this space over here. So woodcutter's being worked on now, that's good. We're coming into late summer, so we're cutting it a bit fine here to start producing fuel, but hopefully we'll be okay. really need to get some of that stone in here. Yeah, Foster's Lodge is halfway done as well, so that's good. Okay, here we go. Complete. And let's get someone cutting fuel straight away. Okay, so what are we doing? We've got 7 stone, no fuel, 11 logs, and tools are at 29 as well. So yeah, not a brilliant start, but yeah, what are you going to do? They should still be set to harvest. Yeah. We've hit. Why are you not doing anything? Okay, so we've run out of logs. So that's going to resolve itself as they start clearing this area. Foster's Lodge has been built. That's brilliant. Let's get 4 people on that straight away. We'll knock out a couple of these. Now we've only got 2 builders there, so yeah, we're running tight on people here, but it's okay. Forester's Lodge should start providing logs. Yeah, one of the children has just grown as well, so that's good. We've got a labourer back. And yeah, normally I have a slightly better start here, but yeah, normally I don't derp up and forget to collect some resources to get the first things built. So yeah, we should be fine. Gatherer's hut, let's not worry about that at the moment. And this little hunting cabin is being built. You're producing fuel, so that's going up, that's good. Food is fairly low, and that's now hit 0, which you really don't want. Late autumn. Let's just wait for that to be built, and then we'll. There we go. So let's set 1 person to gather in. Okay, excellent. So it's reassign our builders as gatherers. So we haven't got any labourers now, so we can't clear any more space, but we're collecting food, we're collecting wood, we're making firewood, so that should be fine. We've got no one hunting, but we've got no one spare either, so let's just keep going and wait for some people to grow up so we can get them into some labour. So yeah, we're heading into winter here. Food reserves are quite worrying there, but yeah, we'll probably be okay. We're probably producing just enough to keep us going. The problem is once we hit 0 there, they tend to get in a bit of a loop where they'll just constantly go and try and collect food, so it doesn't actually ever build up, because rather than producing the food, they're just going to try and collect some. So getting that down to 0s can sometimes be a game ender, but I think we're going to probably manage to get through this first winter. Fuel's fairly low, but all the houses should be pretty well stocked, so yeah, 48, 104, so yeah, it should be fine. 53, yep, so they're coming out of winter here. And food's not doing too badly. And late winter. And the main thing we're waiting on now is just for some of the children to grow so that we can set some more jobs here. We want to get some hunters going, and then we need some people just to do the building. Tools are starting to run down, so we're going to need a blacksmith fairly soon, but again we need people to do that first. So yeah, early spring. What I might do here, who have we got spare? We're still quite low on logs, so we don't really want to take the foresters. Let's take a couple of fishermen and just set up a crop field. This won't stay here, it's just a temporary field. Just to give us a bit of a boost just for the next winter. We need to set them to build it. And once that's built, we'll just set them. Hopefully they'll build it quick enough that we're not going to miss our planting opportunity here. Come on, come on, come on. Nah, it could be because we're waiting on labourers. And the labourers are still trying to clear the areas that I set up earlier. Let's just stop them from doing that. So hopefully now they should concentrate on getting this field built. It's spring now, so it's a little late to start working on the field, but we'll do it anyway. It'll give us a little bit of a boost there for the food production. Come on, one more tree. Okay, he's hit the limit for creating fuel. Let's just up that a bit. We still need the logs for building, but we need them for fuel more than anything else at the moment. So we've got cabbage and beans. Let's set it to beans. We'll set that down to 2. You'd never really need more than 2 farmers on a field. You will lose some crops sometimes if you get an early winter, but generally it sort of evens out, and it's not really worth wasting the people on it. Okay, so we're back to 1 labourer. Let's put him back in as a fisherman. We've got 2 farmers. So again, yeah, we're just waiting for things to cycle through and children to start growing. And we've got 9 children here, 14 adults, and let's see what the ages are. If we built another house now, we could maybe get some more children going, but we're also going to then risk running out of food and firewood, etc. at this early stage. So we're sort of going to take it slightly slow on the expansion at the moment, just until we get a reasonable stockpile of food and fuel set up there. Plus also we need to concentrate on getting a blacksmith built too, and we need to yeah, he's run out of logs. And we need to just get the basics going before we start expanding too much. So here we have 2 more labourers. Let's set one of them as a fisherman, and we'll start clearing area again. So we want to clear this area out down here. We also need to start collecting some stone. Oh yeah, we've still got the hunter's cabin, which needs some people in it. But food production should be fine at the moment. Once these farmers are finished, we'll set them as hunters, and that will provide a bit more food while we're going through the winter. At the moment we just need to try and get these fields grown and harvested as quickly as possible, just so we don't waste too much there. That's excellent. We've got another labourer. What do we need? What do we need? Let's set him as a hunter. So yeah, just coming up to late summer, and yeah, we'll keep going on this. Hopefully we'll get a bit more out of it before we really need to harvest it. If I added some more people to it, we could get a bit more food out of it, but I'm not overly worried about it. Yeah, let's start to harvest it now, so yeah, that should just give us a bit of a boost going into winter there. So you see the yield's still going up because it's still growing even as they're harvesting it. They harvested it early just because, well, they harvested it before it was fully grown, just because I was late in getting it started there. So yeah, food's still fairly low, but all these houses should be pretty well stocked. It's pretty good. Fish, onions, firewood's still an issue there. I don't know why there's not much firewood in that house. It could just be because it's not got cold enough for them to go and resupply it yet. Woodcutters hit the fuel limit again. We're at 75 logs. Let's just knock that up to 500. So yeah, we didn't do too bad. We didn't lose anyone in the first winter. I think we're probably going to get through this one just fine, and then next spring we can, well, this winter actually we'll start doing some building. We'll get the blacksmith built. Let's just wait until this is finished. Yeah, so that's done. So yeah, reasonable stockpile of food. We've got a reasonable stockpile of fuel there as well. Tools are starting to run low. That's okay. So let's do a little bit of city planning here and work out where we want things. I think we'll put a blacksmith here, so again it's close to the barn, and it's also close to the storage lot, so they can collect the resources from there. And if I can remember where it is, there we go. So what space have we got there? Yeah, that should be fine. Actually, that was not in line, so let's just remove that. And not OCD or anything, honest. Yeah, there we go. So 2 builders. Should be, there's 1 tree that needs to be cleared, so we're going to need a labourer for that, I think. The 2 farmers, we don't need them there anymore. Yeah, we'll leave them as labourers for the minute so they can carry on clearing this area. And also clearing that. So we've got another labourer there, that's good. So yeah, 5 children left, they're all maturing quite well. We're in a pretty good shape here. Once we've got this blacksmith set up, we'll have a blacksmith run in, we'll put the rest of the people into the hunter's cabin, and 1 person into the... Have we built a herbalist yet? No, we didn't build the herbalist, so we'll set up a herbalist as well. And that'll be pretty much our basics set up, so we should be fairly self-sufficient at that point. And we can start thinking about expanding, building some more houses, and getting some mines set up for the sort of the next tier of stuff. So that's good. Almost all of our children are grown now. I'm going to leave them just as labourers for the moment, just to help clear this space. And where are we doing on the space clearing? Yeah, pretty much everything that was set to be removed has been removed, so it's just set all of this to be cleared. And we want just that corner cleared as well. And we want to leave this alone because we need the forest there, but we will at one point go and remove all the stone and the iron from there. So yeah, we're doing pretty good. We've got a good stockpile of food, good stockpile of fuel, logs are starting to build up, all the children are maturing. So yeah, good shape here, good shape. And we'll leave that field there for the moment. We don't need that space, but we'll leave that field for the next spring. We'll just put a couple of farmers on there again. We've got 5 labourers now, so let's chuck a couple of hunters, and we can start gathering food, but more importantly at this stage gathering some leather so we can start making clothes. And the other thing we're going to want relatively soon is a trading post, just so we can start collecting the seeds and stuff that we don't have. Let's set someone as a blacksmith. Tool limit is set to 80, so that's good. How much iron have we got? 76 iron. Also running low on stone, but they should start collecting them as they clear this area out, so that's fine. Early spring, let's set 2 farmers. We've still got 2 labourers to clear space. We've got the hunters. We're going to want to build a herbalist soon, just to keep their health up. Yeah, so he's hit the fuel limit again. We're actually going to leave it limited at 500 for the moment, so we can start stockpiling some logs here. They are working on the field, brilliant. So again, we're just waiting for things to be done. We've only got 3 more children, so we're definitely going to want to start expanding soon to get some more labourers going. We've got 2 spare people really at the moment, but we sort of want to get a bit of a city plan going here, so let's start getting some paths in. I'll upgrade these to stone paths later on, which does make quite a big difference. There's a path there, path here. Let's see if we can wrap that round just to join on there. Excellent. And let's just zoom in here so we can see these buildings. Set a path. Let's go straight down if we can. Yep. And we won't worry about just filling that space here. There's not going to be a whole lot of traffic there. And once we get a stone path there, I'll just cut across that a little bit. Won't make a great deal of difference to the efficiency. So we really want the road coming there, but that field's in the way. So how do we want to space this out? So we're going to have a path here. We can have. So where's the edge of the house? The edge of the house is there. Let's build a path there. And let's build houses on this part. So we're just going to build let's build 2 houses. Should have enough food to cope with that. We're going to have to build a tailor soon as well. I'll probably work that in over here once we get rid of this field. We need to get some of this space cleared so we can move the field a bit. Although I might actually just keep the field up here and we'll start building the buildings down here. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. But I might just move it over that way a little bit. We need a couple of builders. Let's just take the labourers off and put them onto the building. See, one of the strange things is, even though you set the labourers to builders, they still tend to stay as labourers for quite a while, unless that's maybe the farmers. Still not quite figured out how long it takes for them to switch jobs, or sort of what the conditions are of them actually doing it. See, at the moment they should be building these houses, but they still do seem to be stuck on their previous job, so that can be a bit of a pain sometimes when you're trying to build quickly. But let's just cancel the resource collection there, and it should hopefully force them to get going on the building. So yeah, I'm not sure how long this episode is going to be. Let's just actually pause this for a second, and I'll be right back and check how long it's been. So yeah, that's been about 30 minutes, which is longer than I was expecting to run. I don't know if I'll cut that down maybe into 2 parts, but yeah, so that's it for me on Banished for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Any comments would be appreciated. I'm not maybe the best player at this, but I've seen a lot worse as well, so I'm not doing too terribly. And I'll see you next time, and take care. Goodbye.